and it has trapped at least 400 people in the Moseby Ridge subdivision, according to authorities here in Manassas Park. What a headache. And of course, the primary issue for the folks who live over here, and I just spoke to a young lady named Katrina Jacobs. She's trying to get out to her job. She's a daycare provider. She also has a small child. And she's decided that she's going to walk out of the back of the subdivision and meet a friend on a nearby roadway, which is actually over the line in Manassas City, not Manassas Park. And she's going to get to work that way. But there are at least 400 people who can't get their vehicles out, who are confronted with challenges like that, how to get groceries, etc. So let me show you around a little bit. You can see right here, there's an ambulance standing by and a bunch of responders. They are here specifically in case there's a need for service, like a everyday call for a medical issue inside there. They're going to have to figure out a way to get across this chasm, sinkhole, and get over there to help people. So this is a real dilemma. And the issue is going to be, how are they going to repair this, and how long is it going to take? We don't have an official estimate. We're getting indications from some of the people here on the site that this could be into weeks, hopefully days, but this is a complete washout. So let me tell you what happened overnight last night. This is Mosby Drive here in Manassas Park, the only entrance into the subdivision there. And it was raining like crazy. Flash flood warnings last night. If you happen to be in an area where it was raining hard, between midnight and 4 a.m., it was just pounding rain here. And a police officer who was on duty actually was driving down the street to do a basic patrol in there and sees not only the road washing out, but the road completely gone. It apparently collapsed and happened very quickly. Nobody was injured in all this, but we have video from earlier in the day of a car being pulled out of this little creek from behind the townhomes here. So we're not exactly sure how that car got there, but they had to tow it out. So perhaps a parked car got swept away. We're going to have to figure out the details of all of that, but what a headache. All right, so let's talk about the plan. Manassas Park authorities right now, because they know they can't get this fixed in any reasonable fashion in short order, they are going to build a roadway. Already some stone and roadbed is being delivered, and similar activities are likely going on the other side, where they're going to try to build a temporary roadway out of the back of the subdivision across some park property to at least give these 400 residents some kind of vehicle access, and to give first responders access to get in and out. A lot of people, when this call first came out, it came out as a sinkhole. A sinkhole meaning that somehow a cavity underground is developed and the material and dirt and pavement all fall into a single hole. It really, in this situation, looks more like a washout, because what this is a little drainage swale. There's actually a flowing creek down there. And where the creek would have been before this subdivision is constructed is where it's washed out. So it may, according to some of the engineers I've talked to, it may have scoured out around the conduit underneath there. A lot of the dirt then collapsed, fell in, and then it was overwashed by the flash flooding overnight last night. So just a real headache and a major problem to repair today here. Now, there's some neighbors we've spoken with who feel strongly that there were existing erosion problems here, and they feel as though Manassas Park officials should have been aware of it and perhaps may have been in a position to take some kind of action. Manassas Park officials have not been able to respond to that yet, because frankly they're trying to deal with the immediate crisis, which is to get this road back open. So we're going to continue to look into that this afternoon, but as for the causes and exactly what happened and whether or not they're faults, far too early right now to get into all of that. So we've got a lot of heavy equipment coming in. We've got first responders standing by. And on the other side there, these are guys from Verizon, one of the many utilities. These are underground. Some of the utilities here are undergrounded. I can see above me, electric going in is above ground. But the undergrounded utilities here include the communications, the Verizon, and all of that. Now, I can see the cable. It's exposed in the dirt. It appears to be intact. It's unclear to me, talking to the neighbors here, whether or not they have communications, computer, cable TV, and all of that or not. But, you know, this is not only an infrastructure crisis for the city, but it's a utility crisis as well. Again, Scott Broom here. We're in Manassas Park right now, Manassas Park, Virginia, after the big washout of a road that has cut off more than 400 people in the subdivision. My partner Dave Scarnato is behind the camera. We're going to take a closer look now at what they can see, what we can see. The line here is here because they're unsure underneath here exactly how stable the ground is. Now, we got a big loader that's pulled up fairly close to it, so presumably there's stable ground there, and you can see the other side of the chasm over there, just the first layer, about 12-18 inches of roadbed and concrete, of asphalt, and then below that is all the fill dirt that is washed out of here. I'd say that that is probably, this is completely an informed guess from being here. I haven't measured it, and nobody's taken a measurement that I know of. I'm going to say it's 10 to 12 feet deep under there, and this is an area where the drainage was built underneath, so you would have had a conduit, like a pipe, underneath there. And as far as I can see, I can't see it. It's gone. The force of the water here, both from the collapse and then after the collapse, the water carrying stuff away, really moved a lot of material, the kind of material that it takes these loaders to move. So a huge amount of power and force with the water. We've had a lot of these problems around the region. You know, it's been raining with the tropical storm that came through last week quite heavily. Had at least one other incident of flash flooding in the last 2 weeks here, and then last night was a flash flood warning. The heavy rain in this area was between about midnight and 4 a.m. And of course, this was discovered at 4 a.m. So it's not a great leap to say that this was a weather-related incident overnight. So again, these neighbors, my partner behind the camera now can begin to see there are people gathering on the other side. They're sort of in a situation of, we don't have any way to get out of here, and we're going to spend the day over here. I do know from speaking to a couple of those folks that those who can have been walking out through a park and catching rides, doing whatever, but their vehicles are stranded in there, and there are lots of people who have lots of things to do. If they're not working from home, they got to get to work, have to deal with kids, groceries, and all of the rest of it. So this is a major crisis for the people in the Moseby Ridge subdivision right now. Manassas Park authorities have told us that they're going to build a temporary road. Not right here. On the other side of the subdivision, there's some park property where they can lay down some roadbed and some gravel and at least get an access open to the outside world across that park property while they repair this. And again, we don't have a good estimate of how long this will take. There's no official estimate, let's put it that way, but we've spoken to some people who are talking days, if not weeks, to get this done, just because of it's not just a matter of filling it in, it's a matter of building infrastructure to carry water underneath it. So it's not as straightforward as coming in here with a bunch of rocks, filling it in and paving it over. They've got utility work to do and some significant engineering to take care of as that happens. No injuries in all of this. Now we did see a car getting pulled out of the creek, so we know there's been some property damage. At least one vehicle that somehow was washed into that creek, but nobody hurt, no rescues, nothing like that. Just a drama and a real pain for all the people that live here. So we're going to continue to follow the situation here in Manassas Park, the sinkhole, how it's going to be repaired, how the people are going to get out, the 400 folks who are stuck right now. We'll continue to follow that situation. For the moment, folks are in a jam until they get that temporary road built.